up, you horror nerds? It is me, your host, once again, Jeremiah Duncan. Welcome back to the channel. Got another review for you that you probably haven't seen, but I think you should check out. I'm talking about the 2008 release of Vacancy 2, the first cut. Came out in 08. It is rated R, runs for an hour and 26 minutes, which to me is a sweet spot for horror movies because it's intense and then you can relax and it's not super long. This movie is super fun if you're into scary horror movies. But if you haven't heard of this one, it's very possible. Most people have heard of Vacancy, which is a great movie. I did a review on that before, so check it out. But this is Vacancy 2. However, it is actually a prequel to the original. But here's what the back says in case you are wondering, since you've never heard of this, all right? Last April, authorities shut down the Pinewood Motel. They discovered over 200 videotape murders. The earliest tape is dated September 2004. This is the story of the first victims. Experience the gruesome beginnings of Mr. Smith and his Hotel of Horrors in this terrifying prequel to Vacancy, starring Adam Bruckner, Murder by Numbers. Suspecting only a night of hard beds and tacky decor, Caleb, his sexy new fiancée Jessica, and his sarcastic best friend Tanner check into the Meadow View Inn. They have no idea that it is not just another lonely motel, but a horrific trap where guests are brutally tortured and murdered while the sadistic maniac Mr. Smith and his greedy accomplices film the grisly slayings for profit. Caught in a deadly game of cat and mouse, the three young friends now must fight to survive. So, again, it's not really a sequel, it's a prequel. Again, check out the other one. You don't have to watch them in order either. They can stand independently from each other, but if you do watch this one, then you kind of know what's coming for actual Vacancy. It's not as good as Vacancy, but to me, I loved Vacancy. It was a great movie, and it was cool to know how it all got started, so I'm glad they did this. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Written by Mark L. Smith, who did the Revenant, great movie. Seance, did Overlord, which I also reviewed. You can check that out. And features Bruckner, I believe, did Murder by Numbers, like I said, and David Moscow, who was actually a young Tom Hanks in the movie Big, which is kind of crazy. There are a lot of nods to the Psycho movies in this, which is super cool, you know, and just all sorts of little nods that if you are a fan of the Bates Motel and Bates in general for the Psychos, watch it. Pick out the little Easter eggs because it is super cool to see those things in there. They knocked this thing out and shot it in like 19 days for only $3 million, but it looks great. It's a fun film, super intense, always just like on the go once it gets started. Now, I may be rating it probably a little too high, but again, I loved Vacancy, and getting to know the background and finding out the true story of how this place, this hotel got started and having all these snuff films and stuff was fascinating to me, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's why I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. Vacancy 2, 6 out of 10. If you've seen it, comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, subscribe, hit the death bell for notifications. Check it out. I'd love to hear what you think. Stick around. I got more coming.